Hello everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you're doing well. We're starting 2023 with a bang, Top Gun. But before we jump into that, I need to remind you guys real quickly that if we reach 1,000 subscribers, I will talk about every single movie on this shelf, because not a lot of you are hanging to the end where I tell you that. You know, you're getting halfway through and think, oh no, I get the point, he likes it or he doesn't like it. I will talk about every movie on this shelf. Top Gun, the original Top Gun, came out in 1986. It was directed by Tony Scott, and I'm not sure what I can really add to the conversation that hasn't been said already about Top Gun, other than my opinion and what I think of it. Risky Business introduced us to Tom Cruise for sure, but this movie made Tom Cruise. Like, this is everything that Tom Cruise is and you think he is. And it laid the groundwork for everything to come and everything he would do. This film, its macho, masculine imagery and energy is just still absurd, and I love it. You have oiled up, muscular dudes playing volleyball, trying to nail chicks and fly jets. Like, it's as macho as it can get. This also started the trend of Tom Cruise riding a motorcycle. It just became a thing as movies went along. Tom Cruise will ride a motorcycle in your movie. He will do it. Somehow he will sneak one in. And we have Top Gun to thank for that. I was really interested to find out that a lot of critics at the time panned this as just kind of being loud and flashy and not having much to it, but I was actually quite surprised at how character driven it really is. It has some great acting. It's paced fairly well, although it does sometimes feel like a hodgepodge of ideas kind of stitched together. It moves along quite quickly and it never drags. It's not too long either, running just shy of 2 hours at an hour and 50 minutes, I think. The music, Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone, one of the few songs you should never play in my car because I will push us past the limits. I have the need for speed. They played it 3 times in the movie. They know how banging Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone is. You also can't ignore Berlin's Take My Breath Away. That was massive as well, and I actually really liked the synths in that. For me, the music gets a 10. It's flawless. One thing that's fun about reviewing old movies is you can actually look at the impact that it had instead of just seeing it as it is and experiencing it with everyone else. Like, there's pros and cons, and I enjoy doing both. But here, we know now that this film ended up being used as propaganda, almost an advertisement to join the Navy Aviation, and they saw about a 500% increase after the movie came out. So you know something in the movie worked if it made everyone want to become a fighter pilot. I love all the characters in this movie. Val Kilmer as Iceman, Goose, Charlie. I like Maverick's relationship with Charlie up until they get together. Like, the spice of you can't have me and this is the wrong thing. That's all great. But the sex scene, it did not age well. As a relationship, it kind of seemed aimless to the plot of the movie and where the plot eventually leads. I really enjoy all the jet work. I love the miniatures. It really gives it a timeless feel. Miniatures aren't CG, it's not going to age, and that's why it still holds up today. But being limited by what they had and what they could do at the time, it does make it a little bit hard to follow exactly what's always going on in the air. It's an absolute blast of a movie. There's not much that I don't love. I love the bird scene with the Polaroid at the start. It sets the tone for the entire movie. It's a blast and I really enjoy watching it, but I rarely find myself wanting to watch it again. There's not much to it in terms of layers and things you'll find out and realize in the second viewing. It's pretty straightforward, and as far as a character in Maverick, there's not much growing that he does as a character. Don't get me wrong, he faces adversity with the events that happen with Goose. If you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it. But as far as being a pilot, he starts as a great pilot and he ends the movie as a great pilot. There's not much to it. There's never a sequence where he realizes that he has to train to get on another level for Top Gun or something like that. Which I don't think the movie needed, but it's something that I wanted. Just a little more than what we got. While being paced well and it having some good acting, the story as a whole, the plot, it's not very compelling, but despite flaws I have with it, it's Top Gun. It's a classic. I can't state the impact of this movie enough. Although I wasn't there at the time, I'm very aware of the impact that it had on the industry. Even down to the VHS tapes. It was one of very few movies that had a very low price when it released on VHS, so it could be more accessible to people. There's a lot to be thankful for with this movie, and so for me, Top Gun, despite its flaws, it's still going to get a very solid 8 out of 10. It's a classic. It's Top Gun. If you haven't seen Top Gun, it's a hyper-masculine with a lot of homosexual undertone. It's a bromance movie. Trust me, you're going to love it if you haven't seen it. So that's my review for Top Gun. Why am I reviewing Top Gun? Because I haven't reviewed Top Gun Maverick, which I will have out for you very soon. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing, hanging around for that, as well as the fact that I will talk about every movie on this shelf. If you can get us there, that's right, you. It's up to you right now. You're the one watching. If you liked the video, consider dropping a like. It really helps me out with the algorithm in these trying times of January where there's no movies. Don't worry, I'm going to be playing a bit of catch up with a lot of the movies that came out last year, so I'll have some content for you. As always guys, if you've made it through to the end of the video, you're a bloody legend, and hopefully I'll catch you guys next time. Bye guys.